everybody? Happy Sunday. Mark again here, Weatherman Plus. I got a lot of big updates for you guys. And not only is these storms going to continue in the northwest, bringing that atmospheric river flooding, it will continue to go through the central U.S. to the Ohio Valley. There is tornado problems that we need to worry about. And this system is going to continue to go to the northeast and bring heavy rainfall and possible damage winds to northeast as well. So remember, all the links are in the description to help save you time. Okay, I'm going to cover a little bit of everything, make this as short as possible. Plus our tropics, I'm still showing that we still have this tropical activity coming, guys, in the Caribbean. Plus the main thing is a La Palma volcano. Please share this information on social media. Help me alert the East Coast. You know how I am about warning, and I don't usually throw warnings up. But I'm showing that La Palma volcano is being manipulated, and soon it could break off if they keep doing what they're doing. And it could be that mega tsunami. Now, if you've never been here before, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because I do put videos all year long, just not Friday from sundown to sundown Saturday as Sabbath. But also make sure you listen to the special message that I have at the end of the video today. I will be praying for all of you that this does not happen with the La Palma. However, it is highly shown that it's being manipulated. Now, first of all, this big superstorm in the northwest, it is going to be a hurricane force superstorm, but it is going to be out in the Pacific Ocean and curve towards the north. It is going to go towards Vancouver, and they are going to get the bulk end of the storm. However, when the front breaks off, it is going to bring the atmospheric river flooding still, mostly towards California. Now, as this storm comes across the northwest, we still have the issue of this storm going across Ohio Valley, still bringing tornado issues. And then as it all meets up in the northeast, it still has the potential for a good storm in the northeast that will be bringing damaging winds and possible heavy rainfall. And NOAA does see this, and as it goes across the east side of the U.S., it will be bringing a formation of a tropical, probably a tropical storm. It has 20% chance in 5 days, 0 in 48 hours, but there is a cyclone that is going to be going up the East Coast. And NOAA has updated the tropical activity on their medium to long range, where they're still expecting the development of a tropical cyclone, a tropical depression, or a greater strength, not only for the Caribbean still, but now they're showing it the one that be above Puerto Rico. Now this is going to go from west to east. This is not going to be coming towards us. This will be going away. This one is going towards Central America. You can see that no matter what, as this wave moves from Eastern Caribbean over towards Central America, it has many opportunities to strengthen up, take that northward pull around this high pressure that's going to be swinging around this way and pulling this somewhere into our East Coast. Now, I did show you the potential vorticity the other day before Sabbath started, and you can tell all the vorticity was from Florida to the Yucatan, all the way around towards Puerto Rico. So anywhere in this section, there is going to be a lot of lift. There's going to be a lot of chances for this cyclone to form up, intensify, and head north, northeast. And the potential outcomes of these tracks, you can see right here on E4, that could start somewhere around October 31st, go through the Caribbean over Jamaica, go across Cuba, the Bahamas, east coast of Florida, and go up the east. Right here on E8, it shows it could turn a little bit sooner and take that sooner track, intensify, go across Dominican Republic and Haiti, and goes into the Atlantic. And that's what the majority of them are showing. If you look at it, you'll see that sooner or later, I'm still showing, no matter what, it's going to turn north and go northeast. But it is coming through our Caribbean. This is still happening, guys. But real quick, before we get to the La Palma information, this is your outlook for today. And you can see the red is heavy rain, flash flooding possible for California. Also right here for the Ohio Valley. And you have severe thunderstorms possible in this big yellow section right here for today. And as you go into tomorrow, it's going to be a little bit more of the same. It's going to move a little bit more southern for California. But you still got that atmospheric river flooding consistently coming against you. And you have it right here for the Ohio Valley and the severe storms for tomorrow as well. There also is some big mesoscale discussions going on about this. And this is according to High Resolution Rapid Refresh. This is towards the Ohio Valley. And you can see that the rainfall rates will actually be 1 to 2 inches per hour, with isolated instances of flash flooding possible. And if you look at the mesoscale discussion for the West Coast, you can see that the rainfall rates are not as big as what's happening in Ohio Valley. However, they're coming over burn scars. So a very strong atmospheric river will bring rates of 1/2 inch to 1 inch of rainfall per hour. And flash flooding is possible in around the burn scars area. So for your chances for flash flooding for today, your excessive rainfall, You have the marginal in the green, you have the slight risk in the yellow, you have the moderate in the red for heavier rainfall, and in the higher elevations of California, you have the high risk of heavier rainfall, which would be a lot of it will be snow. In the convective outlook for today, you do have the marginal in the green, you do have the slight risk in the yellow, and you have this enhanced risk for severe weather for today. You have a big chance for tornadoes as well. You have the 10% right here, you have the 5% chance right here, and this black circle is actually a chance for significant tornadoes. You do have a wind chance as well, and some hail coming with it. But your places for tornadoes for today, here's your 2%, your 5%, your 10%, and your significant chance for tornadoes for today. And I'm still showing that this is going to bring a lot of big waves on the coast, guys. As you go through to this morning, they're very small amounts. They're 10 and 11 feet right along the coast. However, the storm is still bringing 40 to almost 50-foot waves out there in the ocean. This is where all the threat's going to be. Even though it's a big storm, it's a strong storm, it's going to be on a high ridge, and it's going to pull towards Vancouver. It's not going to be pulling on land for the west coast, but it will be bringing some problems. And the strongest on these waves so far is from 7 p.m. tonight all the way till 4 o'clock in the morning for tomorrow. And this is bringing literally, let me zoom in a little bit so you can see the coast and not show you 10 or 15 miles off land. It's actually bringing 20-foot waves still right along the coast in the bays over here by Aberdeen. 20-foot waves all the way from 7 o'clock tonight all the way until 4 o'clock in the morning. It's going to go down Washington, it's going to go down Oregon, and it's going to go down California. All 20-plus foot waves that are coming in. So you got to watch out definitely for the coast. So if you're on the west coast, please don't go nowhere. Stay inside. Do not go out in this water. This is very dangerous water. This water will take your life, especially with 20-foot waves. It will capsize your boats. So please be careful. And as you go down California, 20-foot waves. These waves are going to stay that way all the way until maybe 15-foot waves, which is still serious, but it's not in the 20s neither. But that's all the way until Tuesday morning at 4 a.m. So this is definitely going to be at least a 24-hour event of these big waves. Now, when you look at the wind gusts, you can tell it does have 70 and 80 miles per hour wind gusts. I do see people making videos on that, guys. But all this is over water. None of this is over land. All the land is 50 to maybe 60 miles per hour. You can see the color palette. The yellow is 50. When you start getting to the red, then you get into the 60s. So you can tell everybody is widespread 50, almost 60. All this 60 y'all see here is all higher elevations. So this is definitely 6,000 feet or above. We'll be feeling the 60 plus miles per hour wind gusts. Everybody else is going to be in the 50s at the most. The big main part of this storm, this northwest hurricane, will be over the ocean, guys. This is not coming on land. This is going on a high ridge, and it's going to affect the north. Now, we look through the NAM 3K, which shows you the next 60 hours, which is more accurate than a longer range model. You can see how you got the 50 miles per hour wind gusts in the purple coming all across the west coast. And all this purple is all 50 miles per hour wind gusts. All this pink is 40 miles per hour wind gusts. And you can actually prepare for this. All this 60 and above, this is all higher elevations. Everything else is going to be 40s and 50s. But if you get your yard cleaned up from any possible projectiles, just prepare for it. You'd be okay with this. You just got to watch out for the flash flooding and still the potential mudslides coming from the heavy burn scars being flooded. But when you go to the 10-meter winds and see what the actual winds will be, you see how all these big winds is all offshore, guys. All the big winds are in the Pacific. They're not going to be on land. Only thing that's going to be getting land is 20 and maybe high 20 miles per hour winds with 50, maybe 60 miles per hour wind gusts. That's all it is. It's not going to be big hurricane force of 80 like I've been seeing people tell y'all. That's all off land. That's all this big storm right here that's going north. None of this is coming on land. It's all going to be low-grade winds with wind gusts. And when you look at the precipitation, you can see where the storm heads north, but all the precipitation just hits on California. Northern California, then Southern California. This is not going to be affecting Oregon or Washington with all the precipitation. However, you do have the winds and the waves to worry about. So when you check again with the NAM 3K, which is, in my opinion, more accurate when in close range, You can see how all the main cities barely get any rainfall for Washington, Oregon. But as you go towards California, then it starts getting heavier because you're getting that river flooding just over and over in the same areas. And you got multiple locations that have 4, 5, and 6 inches of rainfall. Higher elevations will be snow, but everybody else is going to be rain. Now, as you go into tomorrow, this severe weather will move towards the East Coast. You have the marginal in the green, the slight risk in the yellow, and you do have a 2% chance for tornadoes once again. There's a little bit of wind and a little bit of hail. But for your tornadoes for tomorrow, here's your cities and your states. And this is going to take a minute to get all the way across to the northeast. But so far, with the wind gusts coming for y'all, is anywhere from 40 to 50 miles per hour wind gusts. Wind 50 is all this purple. And you can see Boston's on the edge of this high ridge that this storm is going on. And you have a good chance to be 60 plus miles per hour wind gusts for Boston and the coastal states of the New England states. But everybody else mostly is 40 and 50. Now, according to the GFS, it's not going to be as far inland, but you still got 40 and 50 miles per hour wind gusts coming as well. Mostly it's 40 miles per hour wind gusts for Maryland, Delaware, but as you go from Jersey over towards the New England states, then it's going to go from the 40 to the 50 miles per hour wind gusts. And according to the Euro, it could be up to 60 when you get towards Manchester or Boston. When you look at the rainfall rates and see what could come out of the storm, the Euro, which shows the worst wind gusts for y'all, does show the heaviest rainfall for y'all. It's over 6 inches for a lot of the main cities. When you go to GFS, it's not showing it that high. It's showing it's going to form up late and not be so much for land. This is all going to be getting sheared off from west to east, and all the precipitation is going to be in the Atlantic Ocean. Now, I'm going to put this link in the description so y'all can check this out for yourself. I don't want to give you any information that you think maybe it's been doctored. It hasn't been doctored, guys. This is from the official earthquake website, and you can see all the earthquakes that's going on everywhere. Now, when you zoom in on these earthquakes, you can see how there's a natural formation on these earthquakes, and it's not anything looking weird. It's earthquakes, it's random. That's about how it turns out. But when you go over to the La Palma volcano and you check out and see what the earthquakes are for La Palma, you can see how everything is not really random or spread out. And once again, this link is in the description so you can see it for yourself. But now you can start to see that there is a grid pattern. This is a grid pattern. This is not normal formation of earthquakes, guys. It don't happen like this. And it don't happen in the same locations over and over and over. This is definitely being manipulated. This is not normal. This never does this. I've never seen this before, ever. And now, because all these earthquakes going on, La Palma has actually had another cone collapse and their strongest earthquake so far. They said it was a 5.0 and they brought it down to a 4.9, which is still huge. It's the strongest ever. The 4.7 was their strongest ever, and it's just getting even stronger. And when you take a good look at it, you can see not only is it still getting earthquakes very deep, which means it's still getting its lava source, its magma from a deep source, so it's not going to stop anytime soon. But now we're getting the most shallow earthquakes ever throughout the whole time this thing's been going on. Now, let me just remind y'all, when I did a video a while back about the mega tsunami, what it would take and what the scientists say, which I take scientists with a grain of salt these days now, because who knows what their agenda is and if they're telling the truth. But if you have earthquakes from a shallow and a deep source, that's the best chance you have for this to break off and create this tsunami, this mega tsunami. And you see that this is not only coming from a deep depth, which means it's not stopping anytime soon, but we're also getting them at the most shallowest, but we're also getting it at the shallowest point ever since we had this volcano. Now, I got this information from Hal Turner. I know that he's credibility kind of been ruined. I don't know if that was on purpose or if it's just a government trying to shut him up. A lot of his stories, some of them are a little far-fetched, but I think he's got this one right on the head, guys. Only thing is, the scientists said it would not happen, but just in case, that it would be 100 to 164 feet tall waves lasting 5 to 45 minutes as it flooded 12 to 15 miles inland. And that's what a mega tsunami would cause, according to what his information is found. And I actually made a video called The Big Lie, where it showed that the mega tsunami theory is not true. And that's according to scientists, which I'm taking with a grain of salt now, guys. They're saying that it would crumble and go into the ocean, that it would not fall as one big chunk. However, with all this new lava that's molding over this island, it would kind of form it as one big block and it wouldn't be able to crumble. I don't think that factor was factored in. But I also found that the latest information on the impacts would not be as bad as before claimed. But once again, this information also is coming from scientists, which I now don't trust. And you can see here on a time lapse the cone collapse. The cone collapsed and all the lava bursted right down the hill. Look at that. So the cone is collapsing, it's getting stronger earthquakes than it ever had before, and shallower earthquakes than it ever had before, while getting them at a deep depth. I'm not telling you to make a bug out bag. All I'm saying is help me alert others to what this possibility could be. Please just stay on alert. You never know what could happen, guys, because who can you trust these days for information? We're going to evaluate this ourselves. Now, as far as who's lying, who's telling the truth, and what really is the truth, we really don't know, because according to God, it tells us don't trust man, man will lie, as we all see with the administration we have in our White House now. They're just a bunch of deadbeats. But look what we have going on. Not only one of the strongest storms that's seen in the Northwest in quite some time, but now we still having problems with this little Palma volcano that's getting worse and worse and worse. But with all these lies, let me give you a little bit of truth. Matter of fact, the only truth that we can count on. Revelation 6. And I saw when the Lamb opened one of the seals, and I heard, as it were the noise of thunder, one of the four beasts saying, Come and see. And I saw, and behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him. And he went forth conquering and to conquer. And when he had opened the second seal, I heard the second beast say, Come and see. And there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. And when he had opened the third seal, I heard the third beast say, Come and see. And I beheld, and lo, a black horse. And he that sat on him had a pair of balances in his hand. And I heard a voice in the midst of the four beasts say, A measure of wheat for a penny, and 3 measures of barley for a penny. And see thou hurt not the oil and the wine. And when he had opened the fourth seal, I heard the voice of the fourth beast say, Come and see. And I looked, and behold, a pale horse, and his name that sat on him was Death, and hell followed with him. And power was given unto them over the fourth part of the earth, to kill with sword, and with hunger, and with death, and with the beast of the earth. And when he had opened the fifth seal, I saw under the altar the souls of them that were slain for the word of God, and for the testimony which they held. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, How long, O Lord, holy and true, doest thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? And white robes were given unto every one of them. And it was said unto them that they should rest yet for a little season, until their fellow servants also and their brethren that should be killed as they were should be fulfilled. And I beheld when he had opened the sixth seal, and lo, there was a great earthquake, and the sun became black as sackcloth of hair, and the moon became as blood. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every free man, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, and said to the mountains and rocks, Fall on us, and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on a throne, and from the wrath of the Lamb. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Amen. God bless you all today. Hope you have a very blessed Sunday. I truly mean that. God bless you all. Please stay on alert. I will stay on top of this little Palma thing and see what's going on. I don't like how this is in a grid pattern. I've never seen that before. It's kind of scary. And remember, don't believe man. Believe God. All glory. All power does go to Yahweh, God of Jacob, our Father. And he will avenge us. Amen. God bless you all. Please share the video.